you know, here's the best part about this whole thing, right? These teams have been warming up. They've been playing, and now they get to prove their worth as this match is already ready to get started, Alexander. Both of these UNC teams going to be battling it out for tonight for that final seeding into tomorrow's elimination bracket.
Yeah, here we go. Let's hop into the battle for North Carolina. UNCC versus UNCW. This is going to be a good one. Like you said, neither of these teams, unfortunately, have taken a win for tonight. They're about to change that as we're hopping into the matchup.
Here we have it, and we got some great players to name here. You know, unfortunately, they went up against some really rough teams, so now we actually get to see these two teams perform at the level that they want to perform at, the level that they can, and we know that they can compete at. And this is that game. This is where we are going to see these two teams going up against each other. University of North Carolina Charlotte and University of North Carolina Wilmington. These two teams ready to get in, ready to go for this kickoff, and are not going to let it go down easy. It's the last game of the night. You got to go out hard. You got to go all out indeed. But like you said, this is the last game of the night, so these players have been playing all day long. The fatigue is setting in. The tiredness, I'm sure, is setting in. But at the same rate, you also want to go out strong. You want to end the day with a dub and feel good. And already we're seeing some aggression out of Wilmington. We're going to see a demo come out as well as a goal attempt, but it's not going to be enough. And UNC Charlotte also coming back strong. Yeah, and you know, one thing I want to mention about UNC Charlotte is they've got Speedy, who's going to make a point, but they've got Speedy and they've got laziness. Together, do you know what that makes? A perfectly even team. And that is what we're going to see. These players not going to be fatigued, and that is exactly what we're seeing right now. Speedy, the one making that first point to take this lead up against Wilmington. Yeah, honestly, I wasn't sure where you were going with having Speedy and laziness. But yeah, you have a perfectly balanced team, as all things should be. And we are going to see Driptane trying to get something started. Driptane, interestingly enough, is the sub/coach for UNC Wilmington and has been stepping in. This player has been doing a phenomenal job of just helping lead the team, both from the sidelines and from in the game. Yeah, no one is on the goal for UNC Charlotte right now, as it's not going to go in quite yet. But one player to keep out for right now that I want to mention is, indubitably, this player is going full aggression against UNC Charlotte. And I don't know, if UNC Wilmington comes out, I think they're going to have to indubitably get a stake. Now that we're actually talking about indubitably and we're seeing these teams kind of going back and forth right now, not much action is happening on the field. Indubitably actually used to play for UNCC and transferred over to UNCW. So this is a little bit of a revenge matchup, a little bit of maybe a grudge. Maybe there's a chip on Indubitably's shoulders. Yeah, and just like that, we are going to see a point come out from UNC Wilmington, evening up this series. This is match number 1 of this best-of-3 final night game series here, and UNC Charlotte and UNC Wilmington, they're going to go hard, and that's what we're seeing right now. Yeah, I mean, taking a look back at what happened there on that play, we did have Indubitably getting aggressive on the goal line there. UNCC had a little bit of an awkward double commit. It was kind of like a slow-moving double commit. It allowed an opportunity and an opening for Form to get in there and make that goal, and just like that, it's all tied up. Yeah, and now we're approaching that 3-minute mark. Haven't reached that halfway point yet of this game, but this is when those teams start getting that crunch time, start getting a little bit more aggressive, because you're at that halfway point. You want to make that next point. You want to make it difficult for the other team here. Shot's going to go in, but won't be made quite yet, as Driptane's going to fill up that boost meter, get it to max out, and try to go in for an aggressive play here, as we're going to see the rest of UNC Charlotte's going to go in for a shot, and Driptane is going to make one nice and easy, and that's going to have it for Wilmington being up in the lead. And this is all off the back of Indubitably and a little bit of a fake. We saw Indubitably pretend like he was going to go off, try to take a shot or try to pass it down a little bit by the field. Instead goes past the ball, plays a little bit of enforcer role, pushing anyone out of the way and opening up that goal line for Driptane to have that open net and take the shot. And once more, Driptane getting aggressive, but UNCC is there to snuff out any sort of advance. Yeah, and Alexander, I'm not going to lie to you. This could be a triple overtime best of 3, round 3 matchup. That was a lot of words, but point is, we're going to overtime, game number 3. This is very, very possible for these two teams with how they are competing right now. 2 minutes, 10 seconds remaining. We already have 3 goals. UNC Charlotte still needs to even this up right now, as we're going to see 4 going to pinch that ball with laziness, but so far, no one's going to have that aggression quite yet. Ball will go in, but Coolio Pludio is going to take that one out.
Yeah, what a great save, but it's not done just yet. UNCC has been making these saves. They've been making these stops, but they haven't had the ability to really take advantage of the saves and the stops they make. Again, right here, the ball so dangerously floating in front of the net. It will get cleared, but once more, Wilmington is there to pick up the ball and continue this aggression.
Yeah, one thing I want to mention is a little bit about Driptane and the way that he is playing, the aggression that we're seeing. But Driptane will get demoed out by Speedy, and this could be the opening that UNC Charlotte needs to get aggressive. We are going to see the laziness is going to be working with the rest of UNC Charlotte to keep this ball on the side of UNC Wilmington, but that's going to be shot straight over to UNC Charlotte's field, and indubitably going to find a nice shot, taking Wilmington up by 2 in this series.
Hold on, we have to watch this again. What happened here? The defenders were there. They were just out of position. Maybe a misinput. I don't know what happened, but regardless, UNC Wilmington going up 3-1 in the series and only a little over a minute remaining.
Yeah, and now if you're UNC Charlotte, you may be a little pressured, right? This is where that heat starts to get to you. You need to get one more minimum to at least have a chance to have that alive ball mid-air sort of action to happen. But if not, you have to go into game number 2, and you're now in sudden death. But you still got 50 seconds, and we've seen it multiple times today, Alexander. A 10-second goal can happen. Driptane's not going to be able to get that double tap and find it in. As Speedy will now take control of that ball. UNC Charlotte going to be going up next here. The aggression back on the side of UNC Wilmington, but now UNC Charlotte needs to take control of this aggression. They need to take advantage of this boost, and that's what they're doing really well right now, but you're approaching the 30-second mark.
Yeah. 30 seconds remaining, and already Coolio Pludio will get that goal. This is what UNC Charlotte needs. They need to get something started. 30 seconds is not a lot of time, but we have seen 10-second goals. We've seen 7-second goals. We've seen 12-second goals today, and we might just see another one right here.
Yeah, Coolio Pludio is going to be making Bill Collins proud with that studio, but 4 going to find one right off the kickoff, Alexander. And I mean, look at this. No one's there. UNC Charlotte not able to defend it, and UNC Wilmington taking advantage, and now we're back in that situation with UNC Charlotte down by 2.
So I know that I said we needed a quick goal, but I was referring to UNC Charlotte. They needed a quick goal there, but instead UNC Wilmington, realizing that they do not want to have UNCC have any sort of hope or any sort of opportunity, are immediately going to get a 4-second goal. That is certainly the fastest goal that we've seen today, and just like that, time is running out. 5 seconds remaining. UNCC will try. They'll have an attempt, but it is not enough, and just like that, time
indubitably
has run out.
Yeah, and indubitably almost making that last one there, making it that score to 5, but did not, I believe, maybe put it down on purpose there to just stop the timer entirely. But with that, UNC Wilmington going to be taking this lead, and now UNC Charlotte 1 behind.
Yeah, 1 behind, but we've seen it before. Comebacks are possible, and this game was relatively close.
Yeah.
It kind of makes me excited, a little bit nervous for game number 2. I mean, in the previous set, Coastal, we saw them come back after losing 7-0.
Yeah.
So anything is possible here, and we've seen both of these teams have a little bit of momentum, have a little bit of moments to shine, and anything can happen here. I think UNCW has surprised me a little bit with how strong they started and how strong they came out swinging here.
Yeah, and I think that's sort of what you have to play on now, right? Is, all right, game number 1, it didn't go in your favor. Now you go into game number 2, but you know you can beat Wilmington, right? You've got some goals on them. You got some really nice goals. There's definitely some things that UNC Charlotte can take advantage of on Wilmington, and they just need to work as a team to find those advantage points and go in and actually capitalize on those situations.
Absolutely. We're going to see if they can indeed capitalize on them, and immediately they can. Coolio Pludio will get a 5-second goal right off the rip. Look at that. The pass from the teammate centered it up, gets past 2 defenders. Third defender can't even get there in time. And UNCC starting out strong. That
was definitely Coolio. Living up to your name right now, my friend. And UNC Wilmington now needs to get back. But that was an 8-second goal. We are going to see a demo come out on to Wilmington as Driptane's going to go for the shot, but it will be saved by Speedy. Now UNC Charlotte going to be playing this aggressive game. Not really going to be playing that defense, which is something we've seen a lot today is, you know, when you're up 1, you still got to play aggressive because now you have that comfort to make a mistake and even the series up. But if you can secure the second point, you are in really good situations.
Yeah, and we are already seeing this aggression in the defense. UNCW trying to stop everything, but UNCC is just throwing attack after attack. Let's take another look at this. Off the wall, centers it perfectly, doesn't have enough boost to stop the attack, and UNCC looking very comfortable right now.
Yeah, and that definitely was not lazy coming out from laziness, able to make that shot, that's for sure. And now UNC Charlotte going to be up to a demo. It is going to be happening, though, right off the kickoff. UNC Wilmington now going to be 2 behind, but we're also only 50 seconds into the round. So this is still possible for UNC Wilmington to bring it back, but right now UNC Charlotte in a really, really good spot right now and are going to continue to play aggression, and I think that's exactly what UNC Charlotte needs to do. Play aggressive, get that ball bombarding onto UNC Wilmington's goal, and just get that lead.
Like you said, UNCC is just completely in control of this game right now. Even from the way that they're possessing the ball, I mean, yeah, look at that. They're going for off the wall, off the ceiling shots here, trying to just make UNCW's life difficult. That is going to be a little bit of a tip of a ball. It will slow it down enough. I think if Wilmington had the opportunity, they would have been able to just sink that into the back of the net. And now it's Charlotte's turn to just keep pushing forward. The pass is there, it's good, but the shot is just not quite there. The defense from UNC Wilmington is just too strong.
Yeah, and that was a really good defense coming out from Indubitably, able to just take that ball away from UNC Charlotte, and that was right there at the goal as well. And now UNC Charlotte still in control of this aggression, and that's one thing I want to mention is how this team is, a mid-air demo happens. But as I was saying, that's what you need to do right now, right? If you can hold this aggression like UNCC is doing, then UNCW cannot take that approach to be offensive, and it's struggling for UNCW right now as we're approaching 2 minutes and 44 seconds.
Yeah, we're just about at halftime right now. We haven't seen the same fire that we saw out of UNC Wilmington in that game number 1. Right now, they just look like a flickering flame. They haven't really been able to get any of their aggression or their momentum started. Any of their rotations have been snuffed out by UNC Charlotte, who just keeps getting these demos. They keep getting these corner boosts. They just make UNC Wilmington's life very difficult while still pushing their own agenda.
Yeah, and that's honestly what UNCC needs to do. They just need to continue to push, continue to be aggressive, continue to not let UNCW do what they want to do. They don't want them to be on the offensive because we've seen that UNCW can be offensive. We've seen players like Indubitably, like Driptane, like Four, all 3 of them, able to take advantage of being offensive, and UNC Charlotte knows that's what they're good at. So if they can keep this aggression, even if they may not have boosts, right? We're not seeing that UNC Charlotte is always up on their boost, but they're keeping the aggression on, the offensive on, and UNCW is just not able to take control.
And how is that not going in? What? I mean, I hate to say it, but UNCC a little bit robbed there. The ball was ping-ponging around there. It wasn't going into the goal. It just, I don't know how they did it, but Wilmington, a little bit of magicians here preventing that goal, the ball from going in the net. But, I mean, UNCC is just not slowed down by this. They keep up the aggression. The shot's going to be a little bit wide, even though there was no one there to stop it. Wilmington have to be kicking themselves right now.
Yeah, and now Wilmington still has a minute left to even up this series, but you really need to get that first goal. That is what you need to do to continue this series forward and not go to a game number 3 is you need to get that first point. We're going to see that Indubitably not going to be able to contest that ball as it is going to get dribbled right above their head. Goes in, and just like that, Laziness going to find the touch, and now UNC Charlotte looking to secure this match number 2.
51 seconds remaining, and it is 3 3-0 in favor of UNC Charlotte. Wilmington looking a little absent right now. They just don't have the answers to the questions being asked. And those questions are, what can they do to get back into this game?
Yeah, and that question remains to be unanswered by UNCW, but UNC Charlotte is going to answer the question how to stay in the lead, and that is going to be with constant demos, constant aggression, constant shots, and that is what they're doing. They are keeping that pressure on, keeping that aggression, keeping that power of control in that ball. And as we approach 23 seconds left, UNC Wilmington needs to just worry about game number 3.
Yeah, I think at this point, right, 19 seconds remaining, you don't have enough time to really worry about trying to get 3 goals in this time period. Yes, it would feel good to get at least 1, so you're not shut out of this game, but your focus, your mental does need to be moving on to game 3, especially when you have that little voice in the back of your head that's saying, hey, we don't want to get reversed. We don't want to get reverse swept here. Yeah. We want to make something happen. And just like that, UNCC will take game number 2, 3-0.
Yeah, and just like that, UNCC is able to bring this back. This Battle of North Carolina, folks, we're going all the way. We're going to a match number 3. UNCC able to take that victor relatively well. UNCW taking map number 1 relatively well as well. And, well, map number 3 is next.
That's a lot of wells. We must be on a farm for sure. I think the big thing to note here is, again, we've talked about this over and over and over again today, but these players are just playing for seeding. Tomorrow is double elimination, and at this point, they're obviously thinking about seeding. They're obviously thinking about where they want to sit in Group A.
Yep.
But it's not life or death just yet.
Yeah, and that's the big thing that you have to worry about is, you know, these teams, or not worry about, but think about, is these teams are playing at a really good level right now, but it's one thing when you're in a tournament playing for seeding, and you're in a tournament playing for elimination, playing for 5 triple zeros. That is different, all right? And you put that on a nice little American dollar sign, cha-ching, Monopoly, and, you know, you're going to pass go. Someone will tomorrow.
Someone will indeed be passing go tomorrow and collecting a little bit more than $200. That is for sure.
Give or take.
But here we go. Getting into game number 3. This will be our last game of the night. UNC Charlotte versus UNC Wilmington. It is tied up 1-1 in the set count. 4 minutes and 30 seconds have already gone by, and these players are going all out. We're seeing the aggression, we're seeing the demos, we're seeing the aerials. We know that they want to win. It is for seeding. They want to come out of Group A just a little bit better.
Yeah, and that's really what it comes down to right now is that morale of being seed 3 over being seed 4. And that is what these players are playing for, is that true morale boost going into tomorrow, being a seed slightly better than that last seed. And that is what these North Carolina teams are playing for right now. But that's another thing. These teams are playing for North Carolina. You are representing the state right now, Charlotte and Wilmington, and one of you will come out on top.
Everyone in North Carolina is paying attention to this.
This is for you in North Carolina.
This is for everyone in North Carolina, whether or not you know about esports, whether or not you're watching it. This is the battle for North Carolina. Whoever wins takes the state. They're going home with it.
They take the state indeed, and Wilmington heard us clearly because they're right below us, and they are saying, all right, we're ready. We're going to put our cards on the table to take North Carolina as a whole. Charlotte, what do you got in return?
They obviously don't have Indubitably, who was the one who scored for Wilmington, transferring out of UNCC. I mean, you can definitely feel there's a little bit of passion there for those goals.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you know there is. Indubitably is like, all right, I'm not on the same team anymore, but I'm going to make sure you guys are going to have one fight. But Speedy has something to say about that with a nice shot. No one's on the goal to defend. Driptane, unfortunately, not going to be able to find it right in the middle.
Yeah, Speedy living up to his name, making sure he gets a fast goal in response to Indubitably. We're all tied up once again, and just about 3 minutes and 20 seconds on the clock. So again, these players, they know what they need to do, and they are doing it to the best of their ability. Driptane will get a little bit aggressive, does steal the corner boost, and tries to make something happen, but it does get cleared. Speedy knocks it up, tries to center it, but again, once more, Wilmington is just playing so aggressive. They're playing so fast. Indubitably gets a demo, and Driptane up in the air. Again, anytime we see these players up in the air or see them have an attempt, I get stopped because Form gets a goal out of nowhere. Let's take another look at this. Again, a little bit of a missed ball there in the corner. No one was there to stop it. Two of the defenders just went right by. Form had an open net and just walks it in.
Yeah, and now Wilmington going to be up once more in this best-of-3 Game 3 series here. UNC Charlotte now needs to return with an answer of their own, as we are going to be pushing in to 10 seconds before we reach that halfway point of this final match of the night.
And we are seeing the adaptation from Wilmington. They were very passive last game. They really weren't having that ability to get into their rhythm or get into those good rotations that they needed to. We saw a lot of missed opportunities, a little bit slower rotations than we had seen out of them from game 1. But here, they're looking like they're back to a little bit more of their former glory, but a missed opportunity from both sides there. The ball floating haphazardly in front of the net. They weren't quite able to finish it off, but again, the attack is still going on, but this time it's for Wilmington.
Oh, Driptane's not able to quite find that defense. That one hurts to watch. It's right there, Alexander. Driptane hits it, and right there, Laziness just bops the top of the ball, but not able to get it out of the net in time. And now UNC Wilmington going to be up 2 in this series, and they're looking to close this one out.
Yeah, 2 minutes remaining, though. Plenty of time on the clock. They have a lot of time to work with, and they're already trying to get things started here. A little bit of a double commit. That's all right. Indubitably does take over for the attack. Gets past one defender. Can he get past 2? Does get past the second, and now there's an opportunity. Open net. The center from Driptane will get snuffed out. The demo comes out from behind. A little bit of power play for Wilmington, and they need to make something happen here.
Yeah, and that is what you need to do here. 1:30 left, and UNC Charlotte is now getting pressure of their own sent from UNCW. UNCW wants to get this seeding. They want to take this here. The ball is going to be about midfield right now, as both teams are going to be running low on this boost. Indubitably's going to hit it, and it's going to be close to UNC Charlotte's goal. Driptane goes for the shot, can't quite make it though, and now we're approaching 1:07 left here for UNC Charlotte to look and try to make one more goal and potentially 2 to even up and go into an OT.
We did see Driptane try to get a little bit into the heads of UNCC, trying to do a little bit of these mind games. Instead ends up mind gaming himself out of the shot. But something that I really want to touch up on that we saw a little bit earlier is how aggressive and how much we're seeing out of UNCC, but it's just not enough, as Indubitably gets another goal here, and off the back of Driptane, who just passes it. No one is around, no one there to stop the shot.
Yeah, that pass was actually just incredible. I mean, there's no other way to say it. That was amazing from UNC Wilmington, and UNC Charlotte needs a miracle if they want to get their 3rd place seeding for tomorrow. Not the end of the world for North Carolina yet, all right? It's not over yet. That's tomorrow's matchup, but UNC Charlotte needs to have a miracle if they want to stand a chance at getting this 3rd place seed, and Coolio Pludio is going to start to bring this one back.
There we go. The trains start to move. We hear little chugga.
The smoke's coming out.
Yeah, as Coolio Pludio will get one, still trailing by 2 and 31 seconds remaining. They got to have Speedy on deck here. They need a fast one if they want to have even a chance of tying it up, and there's an opportunity. Coolio Pludio goes for the second. He says, fine, I'll do it myself. That's 2, and there's just 1 goal differential right now.
Yeah, 1 goal, 26 seconds. UNC Charlotte is not done yet, Alexander. They want to come into UNC Wilmington, and they're going to come in strong here, as we are going to see UNC Charlotte now needs to take every advantage approach as they can, but no one's on the goal, and Form going to be able to find that shot. Now UNC Wilmington another 2 points above UNCC.
You see, anytime there's a little bit of sliver of hope, UNC Wilmington is just able to snuff it out. And again, this is where we saw UNC Charlotte got a little bit too focused. They got a little too eyes on the prize, weren't thinking about the big picture. They wanted to go aggressive, push, and they just left the goal a little too wide open, and Wilmington stepped in.
Yeah, and now 6 seconds left. UNC Charlotte needs to make one now and hope for the best on a kickoff. But as we approach OT here, and Driptane will secure this victory for UNCW. UNCW will now be seeded higher than UNCC tomorrow, but the Battle of North Carolina is nowhere near over.
Absolutely not. There is a possibility that we see these two teams face each other once again and battle for the kingdom of North Carolina. But for now, Wilmington will take that dub, especially as they're heading back to their hotel rooms, reminiscing about the day. They can at least say that they did beat out UNCC.